All right, what's up, everyone? Today, I didn't say happy Monday. Happy Monday. Sorry. Jeez, I'm rude. Anyway, we are going to talk about client acquisition. Seems to be
That was a fancy way to say that.
something. What do you call it?
I don't know. I need more clients. That's what I keep seeing. But I like client
All right.
acquisition. Acquisition.
Yeah. Client acquisition, it seems to be something that you've noticed a bunch of people are looking at online or looking into or looking for help with. And
See it often.
all right.
Daily.
So before we get there, we're going to do opening takes. What do you
That was
got,
my deep
Jen?
breath. I have to go first?
Yeah, why not? I always go first to bail you out.
Okay, opening takes.
You're unprepared.
I got
and
it.
I'm trying to let the audience know. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to help you all out if you didn't know this. And if majority of you did know it, please let me know that I should have known it.
You have good?
I don't know. When you're
All
planning
right.
your child's birthday party and you want a ridiculously ginormous bouncy house, find out if they will pick it up and pack it up for you. Otherwise, your husband picks up the bouncy house. It weighs like 500 pounds. And he basically wants to spin kick you because how is he going to get this back into his truck?
So I managed to pick it up.
Weekend.
So I picked up this bouncy house, and this thing was not small by any stretch of the imagination. It was like something you'd see at like a carnival.
Yeah, we let our 5-year-old turning 6 pick it out, and it was ridiculously huge.
I had no clue. You were like, hey, I got a bouncy house. Can you pick it up? And I was like, sure, pick it up on Friday. So I picked it up. When I got to the place, they grabbed like this mini skid steer. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a fork truck.
Yeah.
And they use that to pick it up and put it in the truck. And I'm just staring at them. And then I was hungry. So I stopped at our local like pizza place to grab a sandwich. And I was just sitting there, and I went to play on my phone, just killing a couple minutes until they made my sandwich. And I just couldn't, I couldn't get on my phone. I was just wondering how the hell I was going to get this thing back in the truck. So I managed to flip it out. I could not pick it up off of the ground, but I could stand it on its end and then flip it out of my truck. But I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this back into my truck. Like, it's that heavy. So luckily, like Jen, like you just said, when they came, they have a lift gate, which I was like, how are these guys going to lift this thing? Like I waited around because I'm like, 3 of us can maybe help, even though we're paying somebody to do it. I'm like, I don't know. They're not going to be able to lift this thing. And they just rolled it onto the lift gate and it lifted up.
I called the company this morning when we were supposed to drop it off. And I'm like, there's no way we can get this into our truck and get it to you. Can you come pick it up? And for a fee, they'll pick it up. I didn't care. I'm like, please help us. Anyway, so when ordering a big bouncy house, see if they have pickup, delivery, and it makes your day way easier.
My opening take is going to be based on our chat today.
Okay.
So my opening take is that before you start solving a problem, you should make sure that that's your actual problem. So I see this client acquisition thing a lot too, where people are like, how do I get more clients? I need more clients. Do you offer discounts and all this stuff? If you have major issues in other places, say, for example, you haven't priced your services correctly and you're losing money on each service or not making what you should be making on each service, more clients is not the answer to solve that problem. If, for example, you have a retention issue because say your salon is dirty, let's face it, there are dirty salons out there. Say your salon's dirty and people come in and they're like, yeah, no, not going back. Your issue isn't more clients. I used to see it a lot in the gym world too. People would be like, how do you get more clients? How do you get more clients? And they were charging like $50 a month. The answer for you is to not necessarily get more clients in that case, but to get your pricing where it needs to be. And that will solve the majority of the issues you're having. I personally would rather have higher value clients, fewer higher value clients. So meaning, what would you rather have? Would you rather have somebody that comes in and pays you $1,000 in a visit, is consistent, is on time, appreciates and values you? Or would you rather chase 100 people that pay $10?
Yeah, no way.
I would much rather deal with the one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier. And then it's easier for you to provide a service that's going to blow them away. It's
Correct.
very hard when you're chasing the bottom, that race to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you adjust your prices to try to get more people in, which is a common strategy, right? If you're like, I would never adjust my prices. Really? If you offer new clients a discount, you're adjusting your prices.
Right.
What do you call it? That's not the answer. You're telling me you need more clients because you need to make more money, but then you're adjusting the price to make less money.
Right.
It makes
Can't afford
zero
to do that.
sense at all. Yeah. So that's my take, and I hope I don't sound like a jerk, but also I hope I kind of do, because people probably need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to start with client acquisition? So people need clients. What are you going to do?
So they think. Some do, some may not.
Yeah, every business, no one's arguing that salons don't need clients. That's not what I'm saying. Obviously, we need clients. I'm not stupid. What I'm saying, though, is that the majority of the people I've talked to, you've talked to, we've met over the years, have no idea how they even price their services. They haven't figured out what it even costs them to open the door in the morning.
Or cost
They
them
have
per
no
service.
idea. Right. Cost per service. They just have no clue about that stuff. So more clients is not their answer.
Right. You need even it like you should at least know what it is to operate daily. Like how much money do you need to bring in, whether it's weekly, daily, monthly, however you look at that. Then you can break down from there. If you don't even know that and you're like, I just need more clients. Well, you don't even know how many clients you need or like what that will do for you. And to what you just said or what we were just talking about, if you don't have your services priced for profit and you're losing money for services, which for a lot of color services, salons lose money because they're not priced for profit and you don't know how much the product's costing you versus how much you're charging. And then if you broke it down, you're losing money. So if you get more clients and you're not priced for profit per service, you're actually going to be in the exact same position or more negative because you're going to need more product and you can't afford it. So to what you just said, I think the first place you start, if you need more clients, let's look at the prices of the services you offer and make sure you're priced accordingly for your square footage, for your rent, for your overhead. What does that look like? And then once you have that, how many clients do you actually need? You'd be shocked if you were like, whoa, if I priced accordingly, I have enough clients. I have more than enough. What am I doing? If you took out discounts, Sally gets $20 haircuts, Susie gets $50 haircuts, and my new client gets $70 haircuts. Okay, let's just charge them all one price for the haircut, bring everybody up to your $70 haircut, and you'll probably be profitable overnight, like within that month. So looking at like that services for profit and making sure you understand what each one costs you, what you're charging, what that looks like if you're a commission salon, what you're paying out, and making sure all of those numbers work together.
Yeah, I think, excuse me. I think a lot of people look at it as almost like a lemonade stand. Like I'm going to open up and it cost me $5 for these ingredients. I'll charge $1 per cup. After 5 cups, everything is profit. Like that, it's too simplified though. What you have to do is build the profit into each cup.
Right.
You have to build the profit into each service. And that's what every business
That's
does.
what if you
It's
don't sell
not
5 cups
shady.
at your lemonade stand, right? Like,
Yeah, that's an oversimplified way to think about it. And you can still think about it that way, but it's not gonna, it doesn't, it's not gonna make sense when you look at it over time. You know what I mean? Because some days you might not even have 5 clients, right? So yeah, you definitely have to build your profit in. Like I was starting to say a second ago, every business does that. They look at it. How much money do we want to make? If I'm selling whatever, pizza, I know the cost it cost me to sell that one pizza. And that includes your rent, your overhead, all that stuff has to be broken down into your thought process before you worry about getting clients. So if you haven't done that, you need to do that. We're working with somebody this morning on that exact thing, actually. And so once you have your pricing and stuff, and once you're structured correctly and you're up and running and things are good and you now want to expand, sure, let's talk about getting new clients. I would say first to the people that are listening, if you're like, I have the pricing is down, I got it. Profit is built in, I got it. I'm charging what I'm worth, even though that was like a saying or whatever. What you're worth. It's just random people saying
Mhm.
random stuff. But yeah, if you're charging for profit and you're heading in the right direction, you're like, I need more clients, let's go. First thing I would ask is, what are you doing now? What are you
Mhm.
already doing? You know, and I wish we had somebody to do like a case study. That would be fun to do, but we don't. So I think the first thing I usually have people start with is understanding your ideal client. Like, who do you want to, who are you? I've written about this a million times
Mhm.
too in blog posts and all sorts of different stuff, but who do you want to service? Who brings you joy?
Right.
Who do you love? Who lights you up in the morning when you see their name in your book, when you check your day? Those are the type of clients you want to replicate. So what you should do is go ahead and build out a sort of a client avatar and write down things about the client. We don't have to get into it specifically, but I can link some of the blog posts that I've written in the show notes. But I think I called it one time, I was trying to simplify it as simple as possible, like a who, what, where.
Mhm.
And so who do you want to service? Who
Right.
makes you happy? What is that person? Write down some stuff about them. Is it females that are 30 to 50 years old and have kids and own a small business? Great. Write that stuff down. So that's your who. What, I think, was next. So what are the problems that you can solve for
Mhm.
that person? That person has problems. Maybe they have gray hair and they don't want gray hair. Perfect. How can you solve that problem for them? And write down all that stuff. So, what problems do you serve for your average clients? Well, my average clients are, 20-year-old females who want lighter hair. Okay. So, how do you solve that problem for them? They can't figure it out on their own. They tried with some box from the store, they fried their hair off, they grew it back in, and now they need your help,
Mhm.
right? So, how do you solve that problem? And the last thing was where. So the where is, where are these people? Where are they spending time? So they spend time at home, they spend time at work, and then generally people have a third place. Where is that? Right now, it's online. A
Mhm.
lot of people are spending time online. And then you can get as specific as possible. Are they in like moms groups on Facebook? Are they in business owner groups on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok? Just keep going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that would be the first thing that I would recommend. And a lot of people, when I run through that exercise with them, are like, "This is a lot of work." Right,
Yeah.
but do you want to be bitching about needing more clients, or do you want more clients?
And this really helps. You see all the time, like, I don't know what to post. I'm lost, whatever. So if you go through and you do this model that Todd's talking about, run through this kind of skit thing. Now, when you go to post, those are the people you're talking to. Those are majority of what you want to be posting for pictures of what you're trying to attract for that avatar, that client that you're looking for. Your caption's going to be solving the problems for what that person wants. And you're really now like honing in on the people that you're speaking to, which means more people will stop on your posts and you should start seeing more clients out of that rather than just posting arbitrarily.
Yeah, if you're posting stuff arbitrarily, good word usage there,
Thank you.
you're not speaking to anybody.
Right.
If you're the person that's like 9 a.m. haircut opening, like, no, first of all, a very small percentage of your audience sees that. And of those people, if I don't need a haircut, I'm not coming in. Say, I, I don't want to make this a social media episode, but
Well,
here we are.
it all ties together though. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
it definitely does. So we can talk about it. But say, for example, because I see this as popular a lot, right? 10 a.m. color and highlight opening, 1 p.m. haircut or glaze treatment. Okay, those are very specific things. So here's what I tell our staff: don't post stuff like that. Because if somebody looks and they're like, "Oh, I don't need a color," but they want to get in with you, they're going to swipe, because
mhm,
you can just say you have openings if you
right,
want,
right.
because once the people call and get on the phone, then we can plug them in wherever.
Yeah. Who cares if
But
it's
it's
this week,
important
next week?
to get
You
them
just want to get them in your book.
right. And so when you're like, "I have a color opening at this time," well, if I don't want a color, but I wanted a haircut, I can't have a haircut at that time. I can
Right.
only have a color. I get what you're
Those are
trying to
your
do,
missed
but
opportunities that you don't
yeah,
always realize you're creating because you think you're like helping them see what you do have, but you're closing more doors and you're opening them. Where if you just are more
right.
loosely with like, I have openings this week or I have openings, hit me up, whatever that is.
Right.
Don't hit me up.
Now, going back to what you said, when you have your avatar and say you have 5 problems that you can solve for people, just focus on that. You're
Yeah.
trying to recreate the wheel. This is why we see so much of this, like cherry cola with a
Yeah.
picture of red hair. And I'm like, what does that do for the client? You made up a random name for a hair color that you created, which is fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. That's cool.
Right.
But how many clients are coming in because you wrote cherry cola on a haircut? None.
Right.
So what you should do is take your 5 problems. Say one of your specialties is blonding, right? Let's just pick that. Talk about what you do, what sets you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Why would someone want to come to you for blonding? Do you value the integrity of the hair? Explain that. Give away as much free information as you can. Tell people exactly what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
There is absolutely no secret. You are not the top of your field. You don't have to worry about any proprietary information getting stolen. Give it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying post formulas because that doesn't make sense either. But if you tell people like, hey, I use these products, I go through these steps, I do whatever treatment on the
Mm-hmm.
hair, I do this, right? And let them know why. Don't try to make yourself the hero, though, in the story. They're the hero in the story. You're the muse. You're the person that connects them. You're the person that inspires them to take the action.
Yes.
They want a result. They don't know how to get there. You show them how to get there, which
Mm-hmm.
is coming to see you.
Right. And you have to
But
do this consistently, not
you
one
have
post.
to build You have to build trust and authority. People have to like you. People have to also know you exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you post once and don't post again, but again, when you're confused and you're like, I don't know what to post or what should I caption this? You should have a million captions and not enough photos.
Mm-hmm.
We usually run out of stuff. Like as far as when we go heavy on social media, like we go through phases where it's like, let's pound social media for a while and post every day and see what happens. But we usually will run out of videos and pictures before we run out of
Right.
ideas for what we're posting, because that's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about the back of the head of the picture of the haircut you just did on the woman because everyone does that.
Right. So you're not
No one's
setting yourself
posting bad
up. Yeah.
photos out there, right?
I,
So you're not really separating yourself. How you can separate yourself and establish authority is to constantly be going through those 3 to 5, whatever, however many you have, things that you're really good at and tell the story of how it helps the person
over and over and over again.
over and over and over again.
And
And you don't need new content. So you shouldn't
yeah.
be racking your brain.
Yeah.
Just recreate the same
Mm-hmm.
things. Use the same images. Make them in black and white. That part does not matter. Your talent is not what's at question. Can you solve my problem? That's what's at question.
Yeah. I think for like if you're an established stylist and you're like, I don't need new clients, or I could use a few, whatever, you are probably getting referrals from clients you already have. Hopefully you've got your avatar clients actually sitting in your chair. And now if you need to build your business, you can go through literally the people that you see daily, like, hey, trying to, have some openings coming up. Like, I want more people like you to sit in my chair. For those of you starting out, this is how you start to get relationships with clients that you don't know yet. And what's really great about this is it becomes like a referral. So they've watched your Instagram or your social media platform however long, and you've consistently posted and you're consistently speaking to them. They feel that they know you. So now they're coming in, they book that appointment. They're literally sitting in your chair and they're saying, do whatever. And the reason why they're saying do whatever is because they trust you as a professional because of what you put on that platform. It's the exact same thing as myself as a seasoned stylist. I get that now because my clients refer their friends, like, go see Jen, you're going to love her. So when they come in, they're like, Susie said, I'm going to love you. So, we go through a consultation still, but I already have like a step up because they already trust me because somebody already validated that I'm good at what I do. Newer stylists, you don't have that. So you have to create that. And social media is free for you. It's just your time, but you have to create that, what they feel like they know you and they feel like they trust you. So when they come in, they're like, I'm so excited to be here. And they also now want to get to know you in person. And if you can do that, that is like the sauce on top of everything that will really get you the most amount of clients very quickly.
One of the problems that you solve, Jen, for people is the time thing.
Mm-hmm.
So part of our avatar for when we laid out Hello Hair, part of our ideal client is somebody that appreciates and values time.
Mm-hmm.
We like to work with young professionals, business owners. We have a lot of students that are on time constraints. We have people that they appreciate time and they value time. And so yesterday, someone was at our house who's a client of yours
Mm-hmm.
now, a newer client, who said, I used to be at the salon for 4 to 5 hours. And what I came in to see Jen, and now I'm home in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I think she said 2.5 hours.
Mhm.
You're wildly fast
Right.
because you've perfected your techniques and you worked on your foundations and blah, 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 all
Mhm.
that stuff. So that is something that separates Jen from a lot of people, is that she's insanely fast.
Mhm.
If you're someone that values time and doesn't want to sit around in a hair salon for 5 hours at a whack every 6 weeks, then she's your girl,
Yeah. These are the new
right?
clients I'm getting that have sat in chairs for way too long. They come
Yeah,
to me for
because
other
they're
reasons.
all
They're coming to get their like, I want to be more blonde. My stylist isn't listening. That's generally like where it comes or whatever. Or it's generally a non-listening situation or poor consultation and then poor delivery. And then they're like, whoa, you did that quick. Like I thought I'd be here all day long. This is amazing. Now I can do this in my workday because I can take a break and I can come get my hair done.
yes, you're giving them back part of their
Yeah.
day, which is one of our like main things that we
Mhm.
launched Hello on, is we want to give people back part of their day. Everybody's busy. These women have kids and families and husbands and dogs and grocery lists and all the stuff that we all have,
Mhm.
and they don't want to be sitting around for that long. And so we can solve that problem for them.
Yes.
I think the next thing that you should Oh, Blue Jay. The next thing that you should think about is your online presence. You need an online presence. I was just looking up a salon
Absolutely.
earlier this morning, and they don't have a website. They don't have an Instagram, and they haven't posted on Facebook since like,
2017,
yeah, like
I think it
seven,
was.
8 years.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? You got to
Right.
have that stuff. I would have somebody, if you have the time to do your own SEO and learn all that stuff, good for you. Go for it. I would probably recommend, if you're not having somebody do that, to have someone at least take a look and see what they can do for you and make a plan there
I would
to drive
100%
the
recommend
stuff.
that just because 'cause I've seen what it's done for our business.
I would recommend a blog. I go through, again, phases with social media. I go through phases with blogging. I have blogs coming. I have a whole bunch of stuff because it's fall now and there's just a different usage of time
Mhm.
during the school year. So I would consider blogging, even if it's super simple, just because it's going to help your website. It's going to help Google find you. It's going to help people look. And if you think blogs don't really do anything, or blogs are dead, or they don't really have value, I have stuff that I've posted when we first opened that still get hits
Mhm.
every single week. There's people on there reading it, opening it, clicking it. So it's helping drive people to our website. And then from there, it's helping establish yourself more as
A
a
professional.
professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Everyone talks about professionalizing the industry. Learn how to write,
Right, or
you know?
if you're talking
It's
like
not
that, what are you doing to actually professionalize, like, your part in it, right? That's how you start doing that.
and have fun. If your blog, say you want to do a daily blog that's like, hey, it's Tina's 2-minute hair tips, whatever. Like, you can put that in blog format, or maybe you do a vlog and you post it on YouTube and then drag it over into your website. Like, just have content, have
Mhm.
stuff that's out there online. You can set up a website, but if you set up a website that's just your prices and a book here button, you're not
Right.
establishing value. You're saying you already know you want to come to me. Here's the price list,
Mhm.
right? It's like when you walk into a restaurant and grab a menu, you've already sat down. You already know you're dining
Yeah.
there. So they just hand you a menu. But in order for us to find the restaurant, that looks a little different. I might go check out their website. I might look at some pictures,
Check out their
maybe read a
reviews.
review. Yeah, stuff like that. So you're going to want that referral program. You can get into that if you want. We don't have a referral program. So, but would one work? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an idea. One that I like is collaborating with other businesses. Just even if you're not doing anything other than meeting business owners and saying, "Hey, how can I help you?"
Mhm.
I tell the story of the time I went to the coffee shop. There was a coffee shop that opened and I liked it. And so I emailed the owner and I said, "Hey, would you have 15 minutes one day? I'd love to just meet and maybe we could have a coffee or whatever." And so she said, sure. And so I went in and I said, I really love your place. And she said, thanks. And I said, how can I help? And she was like, with what?
What?
And I was like, I just told you I really love your place, which means I want it to continue to be successful, which means I need you to do well
So I can
so
keep
that I
coming here.
selfishly can keep coming here and grabbing the cinnamon bun and my coffee. And so she actually was like in complete awe. Like, I've never had anyone ever ask what they can do for me. Typically what happens is people show up and they want to put their card
Mhm.
on our community board. So they want access to your
Right.
clientele
But
with no
nothing. Mhm.
no
Right.
reciprocation, which I don't understand. So my approach is always like, hey, how can I help you? Or hey, how can we work on something together maybe? Or what event or pop up or whatever can we do that's just fun? And when you start having fun with other business owners, they're going to want to help you
Well, and that
succeed
helps
too.
you leave the impression too. So if they have someone's
Of
like, "Oh, I
course.
don't
Yeah.
like when I'm going for my hair," like, "Oh, I met these people. They own this. You should go check it out." Even if you don't go there, you left an impression, right? Like that's really important.
Yeah, I will sometimes if somebody has hair that I like or that I notice, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm a barber. I really like your hair. We're over here. If you ever get stuck or you ever want to check out someone new." That's how I leave it. So
Mhm.
if I have a card, which I rarely do, I think I might need business cards, but I might hand them a card and I'm not pushy. I'm just saying, "Hey, I like your hair. Come on in."
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with stuff like that. Yeah, collaborating with other businesses is also, like you said, it's just making more people aware. And these
Yep.
people are, your business owners, your small business owners up and down your main streets of America are your community leaders.
Yeah.
They're the people that people look at for stuff. So if I'm in, even our local pizza place, like we tell the staff there that we like their hair, we do hair, and we have clients that come out of there. And I'm sure if somebody's like, "Oh, like you said a second ago, I'm looking for a new salon. I want to check out something new, or I'm looking for a new barber shop or whatever." We get that a lot. "Hey, I
Yeah.
heard about you from these guys. They
Yeah.
told me about you." So just connecting and making those bonds. It's not necessarily that I'm trying to get the owner to come sit in my chair.
No.
That's not what it's about. I'm trying to
It may lead to that, but
help.
that's not
Yeah,
the
sure.
goal, right? It's just
Yeah,
really
and
to
that's
create the
that's
connections
fun
and
too.
make the impression.
That's it, and it's about helping people. You always want to constantly be helping people. Try to out help them.
Mhm.
If they offer you something, offer them something better.
Yeah.
Out help out help the hell out of them.
Yeah. And in your
'Cause
community,
that's
it
how
just is great to feel like a community. It's always nice to feel part of something.
Yeah, we have Mel's,
Mhm.
which is it's called a Funway Park, and so,
Miniature
an
golf.
anybody that's
Uh,
local anybody that's in New Hampshire will know Mel's
yeah.
if you're listening, but if you don't, it's like they have laser tag and batting cages and go-karts, and they have a driving range and water boats and all sorts of stuff, right? An arcade, there's a restaurant, and they are launching am I allowed to talk about this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's advertised now.
Okay. So this Christmas they're doing like a lighting display or
Yeah.
something. I don't even know what it is, but we've
I
been
think they
telling
call it, like, the Festival of
everybody
Lights.
Festival of Lights.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's
So
what it's called.
we've been telling everybody, friends, family, whatever,
Yeah.
because well, one of the owners is a client of yours,
Yeah, his wife's my client. Yes.
and so shared that information with you,
Yeah.
and it's now we look at it as our job. You give us information. We want you to succeed.
Yeah, it's
You're
close
a
for us.
local.
I wanna be able to go. I want him to do it again. I generally, those things every year get better, and I think when she told it to me not like, "Hey, help me with this." She told it to me just like, was excited because her husband, his favorite season is Christmas. Her son was working at the golf course this summer and they paired together to build this festival of lights. And it was their summer bonding and son's learning about the business and all that. And that was the story that resonated. And I was like, all right, this is cool. But to what you're saying, it's also local. I want it to do well for them, but also like, so it comes back next year. And I think there's something to be said about word of mouth and letting people know. So hopefully all the people go that want to go.
Yeah, it's again, it just goes back to helping. You want to help small businesses. They didn't ask us, like you said, Jen. No one asked us to do
Nope.
this. We just are like, it's the right thing to do. I always will shout people out. I'll tell people whatever. It's just about sharing information. You
Yeah.
have a small business. It's kind of your role in the community.
I think too when you've
Um,
struggled with small business or anything in life and you've come out of it either way, good, bad, you have a different like understanding for it. So like I said, I see all the time people need more clients, whether it's they need clients or they need help with their pricing, whatever it is. When any small business we meet, we talked to an owner ish this morning at a breakfast place that's been there for a year. Like it's always like, how can we help you? Because we know the help we needed. We know what the struggles we had, and we understand that those are all relatable through all kinds of business. So it's fun in one way to help, and in the other, it's just because I hope people are doing the same for us, right? Like they're talking about how great Hello Hair Co is, and you should go see it. I know they are because we get tagged and stuff all the time. But like, so it's doing that same thing, and it's creating community and culture and just part of what you do and help these businesses.
Yeah, we went a town over today and tried a new breakfast place, and I assume she was one of the owners, came out and was talking to us. But if that doesn't happen to you, there's nothing wrong with saying like, "Hey, is there an owner?" or "Hey, is
Mhm.
there a manager?" And I don't want to interrupt you or stop you. I just wanted to say hello, shake your hand, and say if there's anything you ever need, or if you have 5 minutes, like sit down, like tell me about your business, like
Right.
why'd you guys start this, like what are your goals, like you're as a small business owner. Sometimes it's different for me because I have a business partner now, but when you're on your own, it's easy to feel alone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's easy to feel like the world is against you. And I assure you, it is not against you. There's a whole lot of people that
Mm.
feel the same exact way
Yep.
you feel. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. We've been through all the problems you're going through now, and we're going to go through all the problems the people that are ahead of us have already gone
Yep.
through. Right? It's the same stuff. So it doesn't matter, if you're a single chair salon or some big conglomerate.
Yeah.
It's you still can rely on your community of other like-minded small business owners to help you,
Hmm.
right? Even if it's someone to just talk to. I had a couple of times had coffee and met up with the guy that owns a local karate place
Hmm.
in the area, and he does a ton with schools. And I thought he was a great guy because like he's always volunteering his time. He's
Yeah.
always at schools, always dropping stuff off for like if he knows that the teachers have a luncheon, like he drops off like snacks or whatever. And he does a lot with building kids. Our son went there for a little
Mhm.
bit at Granite State Karate in Hudson.
Yes, I think that's what
And
it's
Kevin
called.
is his name. Great guy. Might as well just shout him out, right?
Yeah.
If anybody's in the area, check him out. But he does a ton of stuff with kids and teaching them discipline and self-respect and how to think creatively and integrity and all that stuff. So it resonated with me because those are the principles I want to instill in my child, right?
Sort of
Leveraging.
networking does like
Yeah.
like now you in this case, shout out to Kevin because he is amazing. He's a great human. Whenever I see people looking for karate places, I will tag them in it because we had a great
Yeah.
experience. We know him, and I know that they give a shout out to us locals when people are looking for hair stuff. But there's ways to get clients, not one way. There's lots of ways, and you need to use all of those ways to truly build that base. Again, pricing first.
Yeah, exactly. You want to leverage your reviews and testimonials and that stuff. And here's an awesome reason why. So we actively pursue reviews from clients. We have not a ton, but we have a few hundred, a couple hundred. I don't remember off the top of my head. And here's the deal. You can use those. First of all, people are going to look, so they're going to see them.
Hmm.
And if they see a whole bunch of positive ones, they're going to be like, all right, this is a positive place,
Checking it out.
or this is a place that I can trust.
Hmm.
Also, Google really likes that stuff.
Hmm.
Also, reviews are really easy to share on something like Instagram. Put them in your stories. Hey, my client Tim came in, gave him a fade, super crispy, whatever. He was so
Crispy.
happy. 5 stars. You know what I mean? And you're establishing authority there. It also helps when you have a psychopath come through and leave a 1-star review. I think we talked about that last week. Was it last week?
Because
Yeah.
bad reviews
So
happen.
you're always going to have crazy people that come through, and sometimes you're just going to have a failure. Sometimes you just fail, and people get mad and they want their attention, and so they go to Google and they're like 1 star because these people suck. Like, no, don't suck. Maybe you made a mistake, or maybe you're just not a good fit for that
Mhm.
person. Whatever. Either way. So those 1-star reviews, they don't really carry a lot of
Mhm.
weight
If you
because you
have a
have
bunch of good
several
ones.
hundred
Yeah.
5-star reviews. I think we have one 4-star review. I don't know why. It was someone that was like, you cut my uh this was years ago, but it was like something like, you cut my husband's hair for our wedding and it looked awesome, 4 stars. And I was like, why not 5 stars? But anyways, like, so either way, but you have all this positivity surrounding you, and excitement builds, and
Yes.
excitement creates excitement.
Yeah.
right? What
And
happens
people
when you're
do
at
look at reviews on anything you do.
yeah,
That is
sure.
like you can even get referred, and some people will just blindly be like, "All right, I'm booking with that person." But they, I hear so many times a new client that comes in. I would say probably 99% of the time, like I checked your reviews and I picked her because I saw like she had a bunch, or I picked all of you because you had a bunch. But the reviews really do help. And again, you're seeing how do you get clients is such a broad question. Like there's so many different ways. And if you aren't doing any of them, you have to figure out maybe which one seems the most fun to you at first. Cool. Focus on that. If it's you need to be broader, I mean, SEO is the only way to really reach a lot of people. It's a long game, but where you need to be. But it's figuring out kind of maybe which ones you take on first. And then you're going to need to expand and be using all of these different tools to get clients. It's not just a one way.
Yeah, I would really, really pick. Like I would start with building out your avatar, and then I
Hmm.
would go into your social media because it's free,
Yep.
and then I would start something else, whether it's a blog or a vlog or something like that, and then I would also do like some community stuff or whatever, and I would push those for a while, and
Mhm.
if one works better, ditch one and pick something else up.
Yeah, where
You
your
know what I
focus
mean?
should be.
And then push that for
And
a
during
while,
all that, you can be getting reviews. So now
or
you're kind
triple
of
down
like
on
multitasking
yeah.
on the front of that. Like everybody that sits in your chair, ask them to leave you a review. Make it a contest if
Another
you want, whatever you need to do.
Another thing I would point out too is your retention needs to be there. So you're going to have to take a look at your client experience.
Hmm.
What does it look like if you walk through the door? If it was possible for you to walk through the door as not the owner of the business
Hmm.
or not the stylist that works behind the chair and sit in your business as a client, what would you see?
Right.
I'm talking from the jump,
Yep.
the moment I swing the door open, because we get a lot of people that will say, I was greeted right away. I walked in and was greeted. I've been to salons and shops that you will sit there and it's wicked awkward.
Hmm.
Nobody comes up to you. Nobody says anything. Or you're expected to walk to the front desk where the girl has her head down in a magazine or on the phone, like your last salon.
Hmm.
Um, just kidding, Jen.
It's true.
I like to pick on you. Sometimes it was true.
Yeah.
And so they wouldn't acknowledge your presence until you walked up to the desk. That's not hospitality.
Right.
That's not service. That's you trying to do you. Like they feel like they're interrupting you at that
Hmm.
point. So it's important, those little things like saying hello, jumping up. I will always run over if somebody walks in. Can I take your coat? We're heading into the fall here. It's beautiful out today. Let's wrap this up so we can get outside. I'm just kidding. But like take their coat, offer them water, whatever it is, like all that stuff.
Make sure you're
Um,
doing it every single time for every single
yeah,
person.
yes, it needs to be consistent. Don't change stuff for your friends and family. Like do it the same for
Yep.
everybody. Nobody should know that that's your sister sitting
Right.
in the chair, right? Treat them exactly how you would treat
Hmm.
everybody else. Do we want to talk about any challenges that we faced? What's worked for us? What's
Sure. I
all right?
mean,
Let's do it quick.
all the stuff you listed is what we've pretty much been doing.
We tried the discount thing.
Yes.
We have tried that. I wasn't 100% into it. I've never been, to be honest with you. I don't understand why you would discount services. I've had companies try to help and they explain it as don't look at it as a discount.
No.
Look at it as you're investing in, your client acquisition or the cost of
Hmm.
client acquisition. And I understand, but those people that are coupon chasers are generally coupon
Yeah.
chasers. So you're
The
not
retention
retaining
is
them.
not gonna be there. It's a fake it's fake numbers.
Yeah. And so if you're in a position where you're like, I don't know how long I can hold on, maybe something like that might get people in the door to
Might get you a
float you, but
push, yeah.
you're going to have to fix stuff or you're going to be chasing coupon chasers
Yeah,
for the
that should
rest
be
of
a
your
short
career.
game if you're trying to do that, and I also think what happens there is I just from personal experience, if I'm giving someone a discount, which we don't do, but let's say I was, I feel like my level of experience would be lower because I'm giving you a discount. Like I'm doing you a favor. That's how I look at that. So like I'm not showing up to the party 100%. I feel like I'm giving you 80 or 70 and what I find from the person who's using the coupon, they expect 150%. So somewhere I think there's just like it never matches up and they've got it now at a discounted price. So if they come in at your full rate, they're kind of like if the service now doesn't get perceived at a higher value because now they're paying more, they're feeling salty. And then you're like, it just doesn't work. And I don't feel like you said, people who are looking for a discount are always looking for a discount. So they're going to go to the next business that's offering the next discount. So you're not going to build a foundation. You may get one out of like however many, but I think the percent is really low for the people that stay. At least that's how we found it.
Yeah, I have one gentleman that stayed from those days.
Impressive.
Literally one. So we don't even use the language discounts. So I actually have a problem with our staff when they write stuff, and they don't do it maliciously. So I'm not mad or anything, but the language that you use matters. So like when we have newer people that are looking for models, they'll post stuff that's like discount to this. And I'm like, no, it's not a discount. It's the price.
Right.
That's the price.
Yes.
It's not, they didn't get money off.
Yeah. This is how our
We
model pricing
calculate
works.
it. Yes. We calculate it. Here's how our structure works. And here's what it costs to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start saying words like discount, then people expect a discount.
Yeah.
People get used to
And
a
it
discount.
sounds cheesy.
Yeah. You don't want to discount your services. I guess that's probably good. I think we touched on a lot of stuff.
I think all the stuff we touched on is the things that we do consistently. We've done since we got rid of the kind of little like mail outs we did in the beginning, and all of it works. But it all works because we're doing all of the things all the time. Not one do I feel is even, well, the SEO I think has really helped us get into surrounding towns and kind of has now created a great name for our brand. So that has helped in a way that just some of the other things may not have as quickly. But without the other stuff, I mean, we wouldn't have kind of who we are. So it's really doing a lot of this stuff and starting, like Todd said, like where the avatar is. And I think you grow off that.
I remember what I was going to say a second ago. So if you are going to run a discount, what I want you to do is go back to the avatar that you created and check that. Does it say this person's looking for a discount? Because those aren't necessarily the clients you want.
Right.
But if your clientele is looking for a discount, then maybe you should run discounts. I guess that's the time that would work, right? Those are usually your box sort of cookie cutter hair cutting places, right?
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with those places.
No.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
It's just like when you need an oil change and you just stop at the quickie oil lube shop, right? It's not, I like to bring my truck to the dealership.
Same.
But if I can't get there and it needs an oil change, there's been like maybe 2 times that's happened. You know, I'll just stop somewhere because I know I need the oil change, and I know that I know I expect the level of service to match and reflect, right? As far as any challenges that we face too, I think just learning patience when it comes to this stuff. This is not an overnight thing. You are probably going to, like, I had a past mentor say when I was in this phase, when I had my gym and I was like, I just need more clients. I just need more clients. He was like, how would you, if 100 people walked in the door right now, what would you do? And I was like, I'd be screwed. Right. So you're not even set up to handle the people, but you need them because you think we all think the same things, right? We're just at a different stage than some other people out there. Right. So I would say patience is your friend here, and sticking to your guns. We always talk about like putting in an honest effort. Like you're going to have to do this stuff for 6 months, 18 months, 2 years. We're rounding third on year 5. We're coming up on year 5 after this winter. So yeah, 5 years of being patient and trying new stuff and looking at it and being like, Jen, what's working? What's not working? What should we do? How do we adjust this? And nudging stuff here and there. Anyways, go ahead and hit us with your closing thought, Jen. Can be anything.
My closing thought is be real with, have you created your pricing structure from actual substance and not just from what you used to do or from what you think the salon down the street is? Do you understand what your prices mean and what profit you need to make on each service you're doing? And if not, we should sit.
Mine is to unplug for a second. It's to jump in your car. It's to put on your headphones. It's to take a walk through the woods. It's to listen to some music really loud that you haven't heard since high school. It's to call a friend and vent about not work stuff, but it's to just clear your head. And I find for me, when I do that sort of stuff and take care of myself, when I'll listen to a book, an audiobook, and I will take a walk. And when I come back, it's just easier to focus on stuff. You get fresh air, clear your head, and you can have a much better day. And it's much easier to deal with all the bullshit that's coming your way, because when you own a business, it's coming.
True.
Eventually, maybe daily for a little bit, maybe yearly,
Yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah,
there's
you'll
going to
be
be
there.
some sort of issue, some sort of fire to put out. It's just the way that it goes.
Yes.
All right, everyone, thanks for listening. If you would leave us a review on a podcast platform that you're listening on,
That'd be great.
that would be stellar for us. If you would reach out and leave us a fan mail, or I think it says send us a text message, and just say hello and tell us what you think
That'd
and
be
tell
cool.
us what you want to hear, that would help a ton too. We'd really appreciate it. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.